And right now here at noon, tracking Milton. The storm strengthening today. It is now a powerful Category 5 hurricane with Florida in its path.
And residents are preparing with Milton expected to make landfall this week in the Tampa Bay area. Watches and warnings have been issued for much of our state's west coast.
And South Florida is also on alert as well. We have flood watch issued for our area, and some streets are already underwater after a whole lot of rain this weekend.
24 hours ago, Milton was a tropical storm with winds of 65 miles per hour. Now its winds are up to 160 miles an hour.
It is just crazy to think about that. We do have team coverage, of course, for you this noon on Milton, but we're going to start things off with our weather authority meteorologist Peter Sherwood is here with more.
So we have a lot going on, and just moments ago, now getting the update that this is a stronger hurricane with winds up to 160 miles per hour, Category 5. So a very serious situation unfolding for the state of Florida. As you can see here, the hurricane moving towards the east-southeast at 9 miles per hour. I do want to show you this visible satellite here because you can clearly see the center of circulation and the eye popping out on the visible satellite. And we are seeing some sinking air in that area. With the sinking air happening in the center of the storm, that is allowing the pressure to drop. And that is why it is now a Category 5 hurricane. There's nothing stopping it out there in the Gulf of Mexico. That is where we have some very warm sea surface temperatures, and the atmosphere is certainly primed to allow it to continue to move through the Gulf of Mexico as a Category 5 hurricane with maximum sustained winds upwards of 160 miles per hour going into tomorrow.
Hold on a second. Did you just see?
No, I didn't.
So this just, and I wondered if...
Did we just get in an update?
Yeah, I wondered if they would update this if it did reach a Cat 5.
Yeah, take us through it.
So there it goes. Look at that. So
wow. Okay.
So now the cone hasn't updated, but now we have a Category 5 storm.
All right.
11:55, 160 mile an hour. And look at the pressure now. It was at 933. I mean, this is nuts. 925 millibar. What a drop in pressure. And this is expected to hold on to Category 5 status until Tuesday morning.
Breaking news here from the Stream Center. The NHC issuing a special advisory moments ago. Hurricane Milton now upgraded to Category 5 strength. Rapid intensification over the last 12 hours, going from Category 1 all the way up to Category 5. Expected to weaken, of course, before it reaches Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay right in the center of the latest forecast cone. Welcome back into the Stream Center, folks. A special edition of Tracking the Tropics, now reaching all audiences across all platforms with meteorologist Eric Stone. I'm JB. We're going to break down everything you need to know. But Eric, you noted on the computer graphics a moment ago, a special 11:55 a.m. advisory from the NHC, and it's now Category 5 Hurricane Milton.
Yeah, and that's why they issued this. I figured that probably by around noontime, this would reach Category 5 status, so 160 mile per hour. But the pressure has really, really dropped. It was at 933, and in 1 hour, it's down to 925. That's a very, very, very low pressure. Obviously, the lower the pressure, the stronger the storm. But it's still going to be a major hurricane as it approaches the West Coast.
Can we back it up? Can we show folks where this did reach a 5? I mean, really right north of the Yucatan. So there isn't going to be enough land interaction there, Eric, to weaken this, right? I mean,
well, and again, the eye isn't going to make land interaction at all. So, the outer bands will, but if the eye doesn't make, the eye is what sucks up the moisture and the energy from that warm Gulf of Mexico. And if the eye is offshore, then it's really not going to weaken all that much.
All right. We're here with you live, of course, in your hurricane headquarters on Tracking the Tropics. Eric, did we notice any, updates in the, Category 4, Category 3 stage? Basically, as it's closer to Tampa Bay. No, they just basically updated this to Category 5.
Right.
Correct? And why would they do that?
Well, because they knew it was going to be a Category 5, and they knew it was going to happen shortly. And, it's significant to have a Category 5 storm, in the southern Gulf of Mexico. It's, it warrants an advisory saying, hey, look at this. This storm is extremely powerful. One of the most powerful storms ever recorded in the southern Gulf of Mexico. And it looks like it's going to even get stronger over the next, 8 or so hours as the 8 o'clock update tonight is expected to be 165 miles an hour and still a Category 5 tomorrow morning, almost 24 hours later at 8 o'clock Tuesday morning. So when a storm does reach a Category 5 status, National Hurricane Center a lot of times will put out a special update, as they did here.
Milton is now a dangerous Category 5 hurricane with winds of 160 miles per hour, and the pressure continues to drop. It is now the third fastest ever to intensify in the Atlantic Basin. Only Hurricane Felix in 2007 and Wilma in 2005 intensified faster. This is a powerful and dangerous storm, and anyone in its way needs to get out of the way. The satellite picture on this storm is just incredible. What a powerful, tiny hurricane. That little pinhole eye in the center, really, really dangerous. And the winds are strongest just around that center.
Nobody alive today has seen a storm like this come in this direction to the west coast, the Gulf Coast of Florida. What's going on, guys? Certified meteorologist Jonathan Kegas back with you. Looks a little different coming at you from the home studio today, but I wanted to hop on because this is a serious threat to the Gulf Coast of Florida. So we're going to talk about Milton, of course, and I want to show you the surge numbers coming in. They are super concerning, especially for my friends along the Gulf Coast of Florida, of course, because we just had record surge, and we might outdo that Helene surge with Milton. So some serious stuff. And then through interior central Florida, this is likely going to be extremely bad as well. So there is Milton. It is a tropical storm as of about 9 o'clock on October 5th. And it's a very healthy storm. It got its act together quick. We were talking in the live stream the other day that if the satellite trends were to continue and this were to continue to fire the thunderstorms off, it would be able to reach the upper echelon of the model forecast, and the intensity forecasts are certainly going to be concerning.
All right, again, there's no such thing as a Cat 6, all right? But if there was a category, it would probably be over 190. But, again, there is not such thing. And I don't think there should be such thing, to be honest. I mean, again, a Category 5, I just think it makes it too complicated. If we have a Category 6 hurricane, what are people going to think of a Category 5, if you know what I mean? Category 5 is already catastrophic to begin with. If we have a Category 6 category, what does that change in terms of intensity? And in terms of wording, it's just, there's not I don't think there's another reason to have something higher than that. I think it just makes communicating the message of a hurricane even harder than it already is. Kevin, we could see this shift south. Again, the cone of uncertainty is relatively large. So we could see it make landfall between Cedar Key and Cape Coral, Florida. Let me pull up the GFS. We'll pull up a few different models. I'm not sure what the GFS outputted recently. This is the European model on the most recent run. European model has been very consistent on a Tampa Bay landfall, which would again be worst case scenario. We take wagers on this going over 200 miles per hour. I wouldn't be surprised, again, if this gets to 200 miles per hour. I think it's not going to be easy, but I think it's very possible. I would definitely say it's going to get to 185 at this rate, but it could get to 200 mile per hour maximum sustained winds in the southern Gulf of Mexico. All right, let's look at the GFS. I have not looked at this either. GFS still has this making landfall in Tampa Bay too. Models are becoming very consistent on a landfall around or just north of Tampa Bay, which would again be catastrophic for Tampa.